What's up guys, Ghost here, and today I'm bringing you part 4 in my top 5 heroes to get you started in Overwatch. This time we're looking at the all-important support class, and specifically Angela Ziegler, otherwise known as Mercy. Mercy is one of only 2 single target healing support heroes, and she has the fastest single target heal in the game. Her primary weapon is the Caduceus staff, which engages one of 2 beams that connect to an ally within 15 meters. The primary beam heals the target for 50 HP per second, while the secondary beam will boost the target's damage capabilities by 30%. Mercy's secondary weapon is the Caduceus blaster. It has a magazine size of 20 with a 1 second reload time and fires 5 shots per second, doing 20 damage per shot. Headshots do double damage. Her first ability is Guardian Angel and has a 1.5 second cooldown. This allows you to fly towards an ally within 30 meters to administer healing at crucial times. It can also be used as an escape mechanism when close to imminent danger. Mercy's passive ability is called Angelic Descent, which lets you glide slowly towards the ground by holding the jump button. And finally, Mercy's ultimate is Resurrect, which allows her to bring dead allies back to life with full HP. Allies must have been dead no longer than 10 seconds, and the area of effect is 15 meters. Mercy's role demands that she be close to her team. The enemy team will be doing their very best to single you out and pick you off, thereby weakening your team's overall composition and pushing strength, so you want to stay close to your team but always slightly behind them. You should be doing your best to heal up damaged allies and damage boost the appropriate classes in the right situations. But that's only one side of the coin whilst playing Mercy. The other side is staying alive and watching out for enemy flankers such as Tracer, Genji or Reaper, who will be singling you out. Your only means of self-protection is your Caduceus blaster. It isn't a hit scan weapon, so the projectiles do have some travel time, but it has no drop off and little deviation. But whilst it shouldn't be underestimated, it should only really be used as a last resort. However, you may as well run around with your blaster out whenever no allies are in range, for example when running from the spawn to protect yourself against flankers who like to hang back around the spawn and pick people off. Your blaster will also reload itself automatically when you have your staff active for more than 1 second. Now as Mercy, you should be spending the majority of your time healing damaged allies. More often than not, this is actually more important than damage boosting anybody. Try to stay behind your team and around corners whilst healing allies. You can't heal yourself and you only have 200 hit points, so be careful not to get caught off guard. Some heroes to keep an eye out to heal are tanks like Reinhardt, Zarya and Winston, who will be taking a lot of damage, have no self-heal of their own, and have bad access to health packs due to poor mobility. In addition to keeping your target alive, healing or damage boosting a target will charge your ultimate, which is one of the most powerful ultimates and can be a real game changer. Therefore, you can effectively use damage absorbed by a tank to feed Mercy's ultimate charge, which is also something to have in mind going up against an enemy Mercy. So with that said, when and who should you damage boost then? As a general rule of thumb, damage boosting heroes that have high damage outputs can be advantageous to your team and can be useful to do extra damage to an enemy player without actually sticking your neck out. Some good examples would be Reaper, Pharah, Soldier 76 and Genji. Try to predict when an ally is going to have a poke at the enemy team or use his ultimate, and if it's safe to do so, throw him your damage boost. If you find yourself paired up with a high burst damage offense hero such as Reaper or Tracer, it's usually the better option to damage boost the hero, allowing him to get the kill quicker and then heal him up afterwards rather than healing him through the fight. Also, always be damage boosting your target if he's at full health, and switch to healing as and when needed. I know this may seem obvious, but there is no point keeping your healing beam on someone when they are fully healed. Conversely, when Reinhardt has his barrier active, he cannot attack, thus it is pointless to damage boost him in this state. So a couple of things to have in mind whilst healing or damage boosting. You don't have to face an ally whilst channeling the beam. Instead, use this time to scout your surroundings and look out for flankers. Should you lose line of sight or outrange your target, you have a grace period of a second or 2 to get back into range or regain line of sight before the beam disconnects. Whilst Mercy cannot heal herself, she will regain health if left out of combat for a short while. Although Mercy has very low survivability, she has excellent mobility through the use of Guardian Angel and Angelic Descent. Guardian Angel has a very short cooldown and will allow you to quickly dart between allies to either heal or damage boost as needed, or to simply escape a dangerous situation. You can also take advantage of heroes like Pharah's mobility to keep yourself off the ground, and then use Angelic Descent to slowly float down. This protects you from characters like Reaper or Tracer on the ground, but beware because it does make you an easy pick for heroes with hitscan weapons such as McCree or Widowmaker. You can also use this method to get up to some advantageous high ground. Guardian Angel can also lock onto dead allies' souls for 10 seconds after they die, enabling you to zoom over and resurrect them. Now, speaking of resurrecting, Mercy's ultimate is extremely powerful and can potentially bring your entire team back to life. During the animation of Resurrect, allies will appear yellowish as they fade back in and will be invulnerable to damage until fully faded in. Just make sure you're alive to use it when all your teammates go down, and don't fret about using it on only 1 or 2 players, especially if you're making a good push for an objective and you want to keep the momentum going. That's not to say it's always worth resurrecting people though. Knowing when and on whom to use your resurrect is something that will come with time. However, some things to consider are, for example, how quickly they will be able to rejoin the fight. A Lucio or a Soldier can get back into the action quickly, whereas a Roadhog or a Zarya cannot. Just remember that your ultimate comes from healing and damage boosting your allies. You may want to consider picking Mercy when going up against a Junkrat, since he will do a lot of splash damage to your allies and you can feed your ultimate off of the healing. Overall, a well played Mercy is a great asset to your team, whether on attack or defense, and does well with most compositions. She's pretty straightforward when it comes to healing and keeping somebody alive, so give her a go, implement some of these tips, and let me know how you get on. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Next time we will be looking at McCree for the 5th and final part of this series. However, I do plan on doing guides for all the heroes in due time, so what I would like you guys to do is tell me down below in the comments which hero you would like me to do after McCree. Maybe there's somebody you're particularly stoked to play, or a character you think is really cool. Let me know down below. Don't forget that the early access beta for those with a key has already started. It started on Monday the 2nd of May at 11 PM UTC, and the normal access will start exactly 2 days later on the 4th of May at the same time. I do actually have an extra early access code to give away, which I will be giving out on Twitter very soon, so if you want that, then feel free to go and follow me there. A link can be found down below. As always, if you have any questions or recommendations on this guide, leave those down below or hit me up on Twitter and I will get back to you. A thumbs up is always appreciated if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe for more Overwatch tips and tricks, and I will see you guys next time.